know I haven't made a video in ages, and I know it's been a long time, but a lot has happened, and I actually did shoot this video about 2 months ago when I got rid of my Mini. And I just created a video all about it and everything, but I accidentally deleted the footage. I know, for a videographer, I'm a bit stupid. So, deleted the footage, silly me, and that kind of outlined everything that I was doing. It's just before Christmas, so not too far away, but looking forward. So, I have been without my Mini now, because I sold it back to Halliwell Jones, and I did sell it. I didn't just give the car back to them. And I haven't had it since mid-September, so 2 months. I've been borrowing Lara's car. Yeah, not easy. So yeah, I've been using that. I've been looking at changing my car for a while. I've had loads of issues with my credit reports. Just loads of false information. So it's taken, since then to kind of have any significant changes. And even then my score isn't going exactly how I want it to. I don't know if I created a video and I've uploaded it, but I did talk about the fact that Lara and I have been looking at cars, and we've gone for a few test drives. I did record them, but due to various issues and other commitments, I just didn't upload them, and I haven't even got the footage, I don't even think so. But to put it this way, I've test driven 2 Volvo XC60s, so I'm looking at the SUV range. I know loads of people are going to disagree with me and think, why are you joining the hype? But the thing is, and for me anyway, with where my parents live in Wales, and where we have lots of family friends in Wales, they live on a lot of dirt tracks, so ground clearance is quite an issue. Speaking of which, we actually went to one of our friends' houses that was being built, still is in fact, earlier this year, and to say it lightly, in the Mini we pretty much grounded. As the weather deteriorates, that's only going to get worse and worse and worse, and so obviously, like a lot of people at this time of year, around December, winter, bigger cars with 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive are more preferable. So for me, in this regard, that is something that we've been looking at. So like I said, and also in regards to Casper, our big Labrador, who can't fit in a traditional car. And we have tried to fit him in many cars. SUV, that's kind of where we're leading. So 2 XC60s I've looked at. 2 of varying specification, 2 of varying price considerably. The first one we drove was pretty much brand new. That's not something I'm looking at diving at all. And that was just to get an initial feel for the car. That was very nice, but the air suspension put me off quite considerably. Even in the most dynamic mode, it wallowed everywhere, and I didn't like it at all. But it didn't have everything under the sun. Kept looking. This is going from, I don't know, February this year. So I've been searching since then, and I've kept looking at various ones. Hopefully, come the new year, I'm looking at where I want to be. So we have test driven a Tiguan. Now, we're actually looking at going for diesel. I know diesel is very much frowned upon at the minute, but because it's actually going to be my vehicle, and I do a lot of driving, but especially when we're going further afield to the likes of Scotland, Wales, just down to the south, everywhere, and with this whole coronavirus malarkey, we want to do more national holidays, so that's kind of a big motive for getting this new car as well. So, Yeah, diesel. Obviously, that'll be my first diesel. I've never had a diesel before. I've always frowned upon them, to be honest. But I have to say, when you're driving long distances, are very efficient, and I have to give that credit to them. So Lara and I test drove a white VW Tiguan R line. It was 180 brake horsepower petrol, full motion all-wheel drive. So it's basically a all-wheel drive on demand system, in essence. Now that was great. That was very high spec. Had everything: the keyless entry, the reversing camera, the lot. But on the test drive, we noticed that the actual efficiency, although I thought it was going to be pretty good, because when I had my Mini, that was running at least about 250 brake horsepower, and I was still getting 32 mpg on average. This Tiguan that we test drove was getting 22. And it's less power. How the hell does that happen? So that was kind of like back to the drawing board. So I did a lot of research, and apparently that's really common. Especially they're not very economical, and as well having all-wheel drive, that does take a bit more of a drain on there. Which kind of turned me to looking at diesel, and with lots of various SUVs on the market, I wanted something that was highly techy, very modern. So you've got all the LED lighting technology, you've got just things to keep you safe. You've got a nice interior, all that sort of thing, comfort, blah blah blah. I looked at Kia, I looked at Hyundai, I looked at Mazda, I looked at Ford. Now I like the Ford Edge, and I do actually like the Ford Kuga, but Ford Edge I like very much. But because I'm always driving, I prefer an automatic, and I've heard nothing but complete faults of the Ford PowerShift double clutch gearbox modules. I know they've been tried and tested, and they're better than they used to be, but I didn't want to run that risk. I don't want to have to go back to Ford in 10,000 miles and say I need a new gearbox. I don't want that. So that kind of shift Ford out there. And obviously you've got Volvo, you've got the likes of the VAG groups, you've got Audi with their Q5, you've got Skoda with the Kodiaq or the Karoq, and then you've got VW with the Tiguan Allspace, which is the same as the Kodiaq in size, and then you've got the T-Roc, which is basically a Golf. It's a Golf essentially, crossover thing, but that's way too small for us. So yeah, my options there. Hyundai Tucson. I like the car. Probably not as efficient as I need it to be, and predominantly front wheel drive on the market, so they're quite hard to find. Kia Sportage or Sorento. I do like the Sorento, but they're a bit big, especially if I'm trying to get Lara to drive. That's not going to happen. So we got the Sportage. I do like the Sportage, but I'm a tech geek, and it didn't have much tech. So yeah, kind of discouraged from that one. So really, in the full ballpark for reliability of what I've read up, for technology, for efficiency, it was kind of between Volvo, Skoda, or VW. And I know Audi's a good contender, the Q5 especially, but I was kind of more leaned away from the Q5, just because my brother, he actually had one to test drive, and he has an A5 currently, and he just didn't like it. Even with the diesel, he just didn't like it, and I was just like, okay, I'll take your advice, I won't go for it. So although the interior is really nice on them, it's an A5 interior, it's very, very smart, very high quality, I just thought, no, I don't think I want a Q5, and they're made in Mexico. That's kind of where we are now. I'm still looking. I'm looking forward to seeing my parents. Can't wait. So we have come out of the second lockdown. At the minute, eyes are on the VW Tiguan. So I have yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we can make it happen for 2021 after all the credit issues that I've had. And yeah, do stay tuned for my videos. I know this has been quite a lot to take in. I mean, lots been changing for us, for me especially. At one point, I wasn't sure if I was going to continue this at all, but I somehow am. But hopefully, with this new vehicle, this Tiguan or XC40 or whatever, then we can actually start making more content, and that is my aim for next year as a New Year's resolution, is make more content I'm happy and proud of, because I do it in work, but I also want to do my own stuff as well. I want to keep up that hobby that I once had and just try and, interact with you guys and see what content I can bring to you and that sort of stuff. So, if you have any suggestions, do let me know in the comments. Cheers. Thank you for watching and take care.